deep sleep. His body felt heavy, but there was no pain, no wounds. He tried to move his arms and legs, and they worked just fine. He sat up and looked around, confused. This was not a hospital, not a battlefield, not Earth. He was inside a glowing silver room, with smooth walls and no windows. The bed beneath him was soft and strange, like it was made of light. His heart started beating faster. The last thing he remembered was a massive explosion during the war. He had been fighting alien machines on the red moons of Jura 7. Then came fire, darkness, and now this. "Where am I?" Logan whispered. No answer came. He stood up and saw a mirror on the wall. He looked at himself and gasped. His uniform was gone, replaced by a soft gray outfit. But what shocked him most was the glowing mark on his arm. It looked like a tattoo made of light, 3 circles and a star in the center. He touched it, and it felt warm, alive. Before he could think more, a soft female voice echoed in the room. "You are awake, human." Logan spun around, but saw no one. The wall in front of him slid open like a door. A tall, beautiful alien girl stepped inside. She had silver blue skin, glowing golden eyes, and long white hair tied in a braid. She wore a flowing robe with patterns of stars and moons. She bowed her head slightly and said in a calm voice, "I am Lyra, and I belong to you now." Logan blinked, confused. "What do you mean? Belong to me?" "You are the chosen one," Lyra said. "Your kind helped us win the Great War, and now we offer you a reward." Logan took a step back. "I didn't ask for a reward." "It does not matter," she said gently. "You are part of the ancient pact." He looked into her eyes and something didn't feel right. She seemed calm, but there was a sadness behind her smile. "You don't want to be here, do you?" he asked. She looked away, but didn't answer. Just then, a loud alarm echoed through the room. Red lights began to flash, and a robotic voice spoke in a strange language. Logan turned to Lyra. "What's going on?" "We don't have much time," she said quickly. "They're watching us, but they don't know I'm awake yet." "What do you mean?" Logan asked, feeling a chill. Lyra stepped closer and whispered, "They lied to you, human," before Logan could respond. The door slammed shut behind her. The lights flickered, and the room shook slightly. He looked at Lyra, and she looked back with fear in her eyes. "Listen carefully," she said. "This ship is not what it seems, and neither is your reward." The walls began to glow with symbols, and Logan's mark on his arm started to burn softly. He held his arm in pain. "What is this? What did you do to me?" "It's not from me," Lyra said. "It's their mark, something they put on you when you were unconscious." "Why?" "Because you're part of a plan now," she said. "One that may destroy your world." Logan's breath caught in his throat. He tried to think, tried to make sense of everything. Was he rescued or kidnapped? Rewarded or controlled? Lyra touched a panel on the wall, and a hidden drawer opened. Inside was a small map made of light. She pointed at it. "This ship has a hidden path, one only I can open, but I need your help." "Help with what?" "To escape," she said. "To stop them. And to save yourself." The lights turned dark again, and heavy footsteps echoed in the distance. "Someone's coming," Logan said. Moving to the side, Lyra nodded, her voice calm but serious. "Then we must decide now. Will you trust me or stay here? And let them turn you into a tool?" Logan looked at the door, then at her. He didn't know if he could trust her, but he knew one thing. He couldn't trust the ones who brought him here. "All right," he said. "I'm with you for now." She smiled, not with joy, but with hope. Then the wall behind them slid open again, and a deep voice said, "Subject is awake. Proceed with mental alignment." Lyra grabbed Logan's hand and ran toward the hidden panel. And so began their journey, not just for freedom, but for truth. Darkness filled the corridor as Logan and Lyra ran through the hidden passage. The floor below them pulsed with soft blue light, showing the path ahead like a living map. Logan held his breath, listening for footsteps behind them, but all he heard was the soft hum of the ship. He didn't know where Lyra was taking him. But he knew one thing, he couldn't go back. Lyra stopped near a metallic door and touched a hidden panel. The door slid open with a hiss, revealing a small chamber filled with floating lights and ancient symbols on the walls. "This place is safe," she whispered. For now, Logan looked around, confused. "What is this room?" "It's part of the old structure," she said. "From before the war. The war I helped you win." Logan said coldly, "At least that's what they told me." Lyra turned toward him, her face serious. "You did fight," she said. "But you were not supposed to survive." Logan narrowed his eyes. "What do you mean?" She sat down near a glowing console, her voice quiet. "The council planned it all," she said. "They sent humans like you to fight their enemies. And when the war ended, they picked survivors for something else. Something like this reward." "Program," Logan said. Still standing, Lyra nodded. "They made it sound like a gift," she said. "But it's control, not kindness." Logan walked slowly around the room, thinking. "And you?" He asked, "What's your role in all this?" Lyra didn't answer at first. Then she looked up, and her voice cracked slightly. "I was born in a lab," she said. "Raised to be the perfect servant for a human." Logan felt a cold wave pass through his chest. "You're not a person to them," he whispered. "No," she said. "I'm a product." Silence filled the room, heavy and sharp. Logan sat down across from her. "I don't want a slave," he said. "I know," she replied. "That's why I'm trusting you." She reached into her robe and pulled out a crystal shard. "This," she said, "is a key." "A key to what?" "To the truth," she answered. "To the heart of the ship where they keep records, secrets, and other rewards like me." Logan stared at the glowing crystal, unsure what to say. He had joined the military to protect Earth, not to be part of some alien game. Now he was in the middle of something far bigger and far darker. Just then, the room lights flickered and a projection appeared on the wall. It showed a group of alien officials in tall robes, standing before a line of humans. Each soldier was handed a female alien, just like Lyra. The crowd cheered, music played, and lights flashed, but the faces of the alien girls showed no joy, only fear. "Is this what they do to all survivors?" Logan asked, his voice low. "Yes," Lyra said, "and soon. They will bring more." He looked at her, feeling something rise inside him, anger. "And something else. We have to stop this," he said. She nodded. "We will, but we must be careful." She stood and walked to the far wall, tapping symbols quickly. A hidden drawer opened, revealing a suit, dark and strong-looking, made for battle. "This belonged to another human," she said. "One who tried to escape, but failed." Logan took the suit, his fingers tightening around the armor. "I won't fail," he said firmly. Before Lyra could respond, a sharp beep echoed from the panel. Her face turned pale. "They found us," she said. "We must leave now." She picked up the crystal and placed it inside a slot on her bracelet. A map appeared in the air, glowing and spinning slowly. "This leads to the central chamber," she said. "That's where the real truth is kept." Logan nodded, then reached out and touched her hand. "I don't care what they made you for," he said. "You're not a product to me." Lyra's eyes softened, and for a moment, she smiled. But before anything else could be said, the room shook. An alarm blared in a new language. Harsh and mechanical. "Security breach, level 7. The voice echoed through the walls. Lyra pulled Logan by the arm. "This way." They ran toward another tunnel, the glowing lights guiding them forward, behind them. Robotic guards entered the previous chamber, scanning for movement. They were getting closer. As they ran, Logan looked at Lyra. She was supposed to be a gift, a servant, a symbol of victory, but to him now, she was a partner, and maybe the only one he could trust in this twisted game. And somewhere deep inside this ship, the truth waited. But so did danger, and Logan was ready to face it. His own footsteps and Lyra's soft breathing beside him. The glowing map on her bracelet flickered as they walked deeper into the ship's hidden layers. Metal walls turned darker, older, like no one had walked here in years. Logan glanced around, feeling watched. He couldn't shake the feeling like something in the shadows was following them. Lyra stopped suddenly, placing a hand on the wall. "This is it," she whispered. A door appeared out of nowhere, sliding open with a whisper. Inside, the room was large and cold, filled with rows of clear glass tubes, and inside each one was a person. Logan stepped closer, eyes wide. There were dozens of them, maybe hundreds, floating in blue liquid, human soldiers just like him. Some were asleep, some looked dead. "What is this?" he asked quietly. Lyra's face was pale. "The failed ones," she said. "The humans who didn't bond correctly." Logan felt a chill crawl down his spine. He looked at one of the tanks. A man inside had burns on his chest, a broken arm, and terror frozen on his face. "This is not a reward," Logan said, voice shaking. "This is a prison." Lyra nodded slowly. "They test humans like you, over and over, using different partners, different implants, different lies. And if it doesn't work," Logan said, "they get rid of us." He turned away, fists clenched. He felt sick, angry, and more determined than ever. "We have to expose this," he said. Lyra stepped toward a control panel and touched it. The room lit up with data names, numbers, images, and video logs. Logan saw himself on the screen, asleep, with machines connected to his mind. They were scanning his emotions, dreams, memories. "They were watching everything," he said. "Yes." Lyra said, "Even now, they might be watching us." Suddenly, one of the tanks started beeping. The liquid inside bubbled, and the soldier inside opened his eyes. Logan stepped back, startled. The tank opened, and the man fell forward, coughing and shaking. He looked around, eyes wild with fear. "Who are you?" he asked, voice hoarse. "I'm Logan," he said. "You're safe now." "No one is safe," the man said, backing away. "They know everything. They see through her." He pointed a shaking finger at Lyra. Logan turned to her, confused. "What is he talking about?" The man shouted, "She's the key. They use her to control your thoughts." Lyra looked hurt, stepping back. "No," she said. "Not anymore." The man's eyes filled with tears. "They made me love her," he whispered. "They made me care. And then they turned her against me." He collapsed on the floor, sobbing. Lyra knelt beside him. Her voice soft. "I'm sorry," she said. "Didn't choose this." Logan watched her carefully, his mind racing. Was she still connected to them? Could she be used like a weapon against him? He didn't want to believe it, but doubt had been planted before he could speak. Another alarm echoed through the room. This one was different, deep and sharp. Lyra's bracelet flashed red. "They've found us again," she said. "We have to go." Logan looked at the crying man. "We can't leave him." "We can't carry him either," Lyra said. "He won't survive another jump." The man looked up, his voice calm now. "I'll stay," he said. "But take this." He handed Logan a metal chip, small and cold. "This has the truth," he said. "Recordings from the testing chambers, the mind experiments, the manipulation logs." Logan took the chip and nodded. "Thank you." As they ran toward the next door, the lights flickered again. A voice echoed through the chamber, not from a speaker, but from inside Logan's head. "You are making a mistake, soldier." Logan froze. "Did you hear that?" Lyra nodded. "Slowly, they've started the psychic link," she said. "Soon they will speak through your memories, your fears, your desires." Logan clenched his teeth. "Then we're running out of time." They reached the end of the tunnel and entered a narrow shaft with ladders leading upward. As they climbed, Logan looked down at Lyra. Her silver eyes met his, full of fear, pain, and something else, hope. He didn't know if he could trust her fully. But right now, she was the only light in this darkness, and he would follow it, no matter where it led. The ladder opened into a silent dome. It was dimly lit, with walls made of smooth crystal and wires like veins running across the ceiling. Logan stepped out first, holding the stolen chip tightly in his fist. Lyra followed, her eyes scanning every corner of the room. "This used to be a medical chamber," she said softly. "Now it's abandoned." Logan moved slowly, his boots echoing against the glass floor. There was something strange in the air, like electricity and silence mixed together. He turned to Lyra, who had stopped walking. She was standing still, staring at her arm. The glowing mark on her skin was flickering, faster than before. "Lyra." Logan called. "Are you okay?" She didn't answer. Suddenly her knees buckled and she collapsed to the floor. "Lyra!" he shouted, rushing to her side. Her eyes were wide open, glowing. But she wasn't seeing him. She was whispering something he couldn't understand. Then her voice changed, deeper and robotic. "Unit 74. Preparing for alignment, Logan." "Step back, shocked." "Lyra, fight it," he said. "You're stronger than this." Her hands trembled as she clutched her head. "They put something inside me," she whispered, her voice breaking. "A seed. A trigger. I didn't know it was still active." Logan helped her sit up against the wall, his mind racing. "You said you were free." "I thought I was," she said, tears rolling down her silver cheeks. "But it's still inside, waiting to take control." "Can it be removed?" Logan asked. Lyra hesitated, then nodded slowly. "There is one way," she said, "but it's dangerous." "Everything we've done is dangerous," he replied. "Tell me." She reached into her bracelet and pulled out a small vial with glowing dust inside. "This was made by a rebel doctor," she said. "It can break the neural link, but if it fails, it could destroy my mind." Logan looked at the vial, then at her. "What do you want to do?" Lyra held his gaze, her voice calm. "I want to be real," she said. "Not a tool, not a weapon, not a gift." He nodded and helped her to a table in the center of the room. There were old medical tools around, some broken, some still working. "Just tell me what to do," he said. She handed him a scanner. "Place this at the base of my skull," she said. "Then inject the vial into the implant node." His hands shook slightly as he followed her instructions. She winced as the scanner clicked into place. Then he held the vial over the glowing mark on her neck. "Ready?" he asked. She closed her eyes. "Do it." He pressed the injector, and the glowing dust sank into her skin. For a moment, nothing happened. Then Lyra screamed, her body arched, eyes wide with pain. Symbols flashed across the walls, and the room shook. "Stay with me," Logan said. Grabbing her hand, she gasped for breath, sweat on her forehead. "I can feel it," she cried. "It's fighting me." Her voice twisted into something dark again. "Unit 74, return to position. Return to the master." "No," Logan said, pressing his forehead against hers. "You are not a unit, you're Lyra, and you are free." The light in her eyes flickered, then faded. Her body went limp. "Lyra," he whispered, panic rising. "Lyra." A moment passed, then her fingers moved. She opened her eyes slowly, the glow now soft and steady. "I'm still here," she whispered. "It's gone." "I think it's really gone." Logan pulled her into a hug, relief washing over him. For a moment, there was silence, peaceful and still. Then the scanner beeped one last time and shut off. He helped her stand, and she looked around the room with new eyes. "For the first time," she said, "I feel like myself." But before they could speak more, the wall behind them lit up. A voice echoed from a hidden speaker, slow and cold. "Congratulations, Soldier Logan. You have passed phase 2. Logan's heart stopped. "What is this?" he whispered. Lyra's face turned pale again. "They were testing us," she said. "Even this, my implant. My pain, it was part of their plan." A projection appeared before them, showing a row of alien scientists in shadow. "Your bond has proven strong," the voice said. "Proceed to the next chamber for evaluation." Logan stared at the projection with pure rage. "They've been watching everything," he said. Lyra replied. "And now they want more." Logan turned to her, eyes burning with purpose. "Then we stop playing," he said. "No more tests, no more phases, we end this." Lyra nodded. her hand closing around his. "They think we're pieces on their board," she said. "They have no idea we're about to break it," Logan replied. Orange, then pure white. A new voice echoed through the chamber, robotic and emotionless. "Containment breach. Escape protocol active." Lyra pulled Logan by the hand. Her voice sharp. "They're sealing the ship." "Then we need to move now," Logan said, tightening the grip on the chip he still carried. They ran down a narrow hallway, passing flickering lights and broken panels. Sirens screamed above them, and from far behind, mechanical footsteps echoed closer with every second. Lyra tapped her bracelet, opening a hidden hatch in the floor. "Through here," she said. "It leads to the hangar." Logan jumped down first, then caught Lyra as she followed. The tunnel was hot and tight, like crawling through the veins of a beast. Every few meters, vents hissed steam, and warning lights flashed above their heads. "We're getting close," Lyra said. "I can feel the energy." They reached a circular door, pulsing with power. Lyra touched the panel beside it, and the door opened with a heavy sigh. Inside was a massive hangar filled with alien ships, sleek, black and humming softly. One of them sat alone in the center, glowing blue and silver like a sleeping dragon. "That one," Lyra said, pointing. "It's fast and unregistered." They sprinted across the hangar floor, dodging crates, tools, and scanning drones. As they neared the ship, the ground behind them exploded. A squad of alien guards appeared from the smoke, their eyes glowing red. "Go!" Logan shouted, spinning around and firing a pulse gun he'd grabbed from the tunnel. Lyra jumped into the cockpit, fingers flying across the controls. The ship roared to life. Engines spinning and lights brightening. Logan ran after her, leaping into the cockpit just as laser fire lit up the floor behind him. "Close it," he shouted, and the hatch slammed shut. The ship lifted off, shaking from the blast of its own power. Guards fired from below, but the ship zipped through the hangar doors and into the cold stars. For a moment, there was silence. Stars stretched around them, and the chaos faded behind. Logan leaned back in the seat, breathing hard. "That was too close," he said. Lyra nodded, her hands steady on the controls. "We're not safe yet," she said. "They'll send fighters after us." He looked out the window, and sure enough, tiny dots of light were growing behind them. "Then we outrun them," he said. "No," she said. "We go through the storm." Logan followed her eyes to a swirling cloud of blue and gold ahead of them. "A nebula," he said. "Are you crazy? It won't follow us in there," she said. "Their ships can't handle it, but this one can." Logan hesitated for only a second, then nodded. "Do it." The ship dove into the nebula, lights flashing across the cockpit. Electric storms danced outside the windows, like glowing tentacles reaching for them. Inside the ship, alarms screamed again. Navigation offline, shields low. Logan looked at Lyra, and she looked back. "Whatever happens," he said, "I don't regret this." She smiled softly, eyes full of light. "Neither do I." The ship rocked hard, throwing them forward. Panels sparked, and the engines groaned. "We're almost through." Lyra shouted, "Hold on." Suddenly, everything went black. The ship powered down, floating in silence. Logan looked around, heart pounding. "Did we make it?" he asked. Light slowly returned, and outside the window stars, pure stars, no sign of the nebula. No enemy ships, just open space. Lyra sighed with relief. "We're out," she said. "They can't find us here," Logan smiled. But then his face turned serious. "What now?" She turned to him, face calm but determined. "We find the lab," she said. "The place where I was made. The place where they started all of this." "Why?" he asked. "Because if we want to end this," she said, "we have to understand how it began." Logan nodded slowly. "And if they find us again," Lyra looked him in the eyes, "then we don't run," she said. "We fight." He reached out and touched her hand. Together, outside, the stars shimmered like silent witnesses, but something else moved among them, far in the distance, a ship unlike any other powered up. Watching them through a trail of dark energy, inside it, a figure sat in a throne of metal and light. "Let the game begin," the figure whispered. The ship drifted silently above a dead planet. Its surface was cracked like broken glass, colored in shades of black and blue. Faint green light glowed from deep under the surface, like something alive was trapped inside. Lyra stood at the window, eyes locked on the planet below. "That's it," she whispered. "The place where I was created." Logan stood beside her, studying the strange world. "You're sure this is the lab?" She nodded slowly. "It was buried after the rebellion began. No one speaks of it now, not even the council." Logan stared at the planet and felt something strange. Not fear, not anger, something deeper. Something older, like the planet itself was remembering. Lyra activated the ship's descent system. As they dropped into the atmosphere, the clouds above them turned red. Flashes of static filled the sky, and the ship's controls buzzed with resistance. "This place doesn't want to be found," Logan said, gripping the seat. "No," Lyra replied, "because truth lives here." They landed near a mountain of broken stone and glass. The ship powered down, and silence returned. Outside, the wind carried whispers. Logan stepped out first, the ground cracking beneath his boots. Lyra followed, moving carefully across the surface. In the distance, a tower rose from the ground like a forgotten tooth. Its walls were scarred with burn marks in time. "This was it," she said, placing a hand on the door. "The birthplace of the rewards." The door opened with a deep groan inside. The air was cold and still. Dust floated like ash in the light of their lanterns. They walked through long hallways lined with empty pods and broken machines. Every step echoed like a memory. "This is where they made me," Lyra said, piece by piece, code by code. She led Logan into a chamber filled with glowing screens. They still worked, humming with life. Lyra touched a panel, and the screen lit up with her own face, young, expressionless, unfinished. Logan stepped back, startled. "She doesn't even look like you," he said. "She wasn't me," Lyra replied. "She was their idea of me." The screen shifted again, showing data DN mixes, emotional programming charts, memory loops. "They didn't just build bodies," she said. "They built feelings, love, loyalty, fear, so they could control the bond." Logan felt sick. So everything between us was that part of the program, too. Lyra looked at him, pain in her eyes. "I don't know," she whispered. "But I know what I feel now is real." Before Logan could respond, another panel lit up. A voice began to play, soft but cold. "Subject 17B, emotional failure detected. Termination recommended." Another screen showed a file, labeled Logan 3. He moved closer and read the words beneath. "Potential. High emotional bond. Stable. Usefulness critical." He turned to Lyra, eyes wide. "They planned me too." "Yes," she said. "You weren't chosen, Logan. You were selected." Anger burned inside him, but deeper than that was heartbreak. All this time, he thought he survived by chance. But it was never luck, it was design. Lyra placed a hand on his shoulder. "I hated this place for so long," she said. "But maybe it's also where we break their game." Just then, the chamber lights flickered. A deep sound echoed through the floor from the far side of the room. A heavy door opened. Behind it was a massive core glowing like a second sun. Inside the core floated rows of memory crystals, each one pulsing with light. Lyra stepped forward, stunned. These are the original minds," she said. "The first versions of us." Each crystal held a voice, a soul, a past. Some cried, some screamed, some simply repeated one word. "Help, they're alive," Logan whispered. "Trapped in here. We can release them," Lyra said. "But it will destroy the entire lab." "Do it," Logan said without hesitation. She placed her hand on the terminal, preparing the override. Just then, a voice echoed through the chamber. Not from the system, but from behind them. I wouldn't do that if I were you. They turned around. And standing in the doorway was the same shadowy figure from the hunter ship. Tall, armored, eyes like burning stars. Who are you? Logan asked, ready to fight. I'm the architect, the figure said. I built her, I built you. And I built this world. Lyra stepped forward, her voice like a blade. Then this is where your empire ends, the architect smiled. You think love makes you strong, he said. But love is exactly what I designed to break you, Lyra. Pressed the override, and the crystals began to shatter. One by one, the core turned red, alarms howled, and the entire lab began to collapse. Run! Logan shouted, grabbing Lyra's hand. They raced through the hallway as fire burst behind them. Outside, the ground split open, swallowing towers and stone. They leapt into the ship as the lab vanished into the earth. The engines roared, and the ship took off just as the planet began to fall apart. Logan and Lyra looked back in silence. The lab was gone, the past was burning, but something stronger had survived, something real. From every corner of the galaxy, the architect's fleet was arriving, silent, dark, and powerful, inside the stolen craft. Logan stood in front of the controls. His eyes calm, Lyra sat beside him, holding the final data crystal from the destroyed lab. This is all we have, she said. The truth, the names, the proof. And it's enough, Logan replied. We don't need to win a war, we just need to show them what the war really is. The screen flickered to life, showing a transmission request from the architect's flagship. Answer it, Logan said. The screen shifted, and there he was, the architect. His face was smooth and ageless, but his eyes burned with control. You destroyed a sacred site, he said. You have broken the cycle. No, Logan said. We ended your machine. You were my best creation, the architect replied. But now you are just another broken program. Lyra stood beside Logan, her voice steady. We are not your programs, she said. We are people. The architect laughed softly. Then let's see what your people do when I bring war to every planet you love. The screen went black and the countdown began. The enemy fleet powered their weapons, and the sky lit with red targeting lines. Logan turned to Lyra. It's time, he said. She placed the crystal into the ship's core and activated the signal. A pulse shot through space, bright, raw, and filled with memories, not just data, but feelings, images. Moments from every stolen life in the lab. The signal reached nearby ships. Then relays, then networks across systems. Millions saw it: soldiers, leaders, citizens. Even other rewards who had never known the truth. And something happened. Ships stopped moving. Weapons lowered. Confusion spread through the fleet like a wave, one by one. Lights on the enemy ships began to blink yellow, then green. Lyra's voice broadcasted into the silence. To those who can hear me, you have been used, we all have. But today we have a choice: follow the truth, or follow the lie. The architect's voice returned, louder and full of fury. You will not take this from me. His flagship opened fire, a beam of light streaking through the stars. Logan turned the ship sharply, but the blast hit the rear engines. Sparks flew across the cockpit, smoke filled the air. We can't outrun him, Lyra shouted. Then we don't, Logan said, pulling up the manual override. He pointed the ship straight at the architect's vessel. You're not serious, she said, eyes wide. He wants control. Logan said, let's show him what real choice like. He set the ship to full thrust, guiding it straight toward the enemy heart. Inside the flagship, the architect watched in silence. He raised his hand to activate shields, but his systems blinked red. Other ships had begun jamming his power, refusing his orders. Rebellion had spread like fire. Logan and Lyra flew through the center of chaos, past fighters, past broken rules, past fear. The ship shook with every mile closer. Logan, Lyra said, her voice trembling. If this is the end. He looked at her and smiled. "It's not," he said. "It's the beginning for all of us." They reached the center, the final moment, the point where the lie began, and then light, silence, and then peace. The explosion shattered the architects' command ship. Without it, the fleet crumbled, ships drifted. Leaders vanished, chains broke. Across the galaxy, the reward system collapsed. Alien races began to question, to protest, to rebuild, and the memory of Logan and Lyra, the soldier, and the slave who became free, spread across stars like legend. Years passed on a new world, free from codes and commands. Children listened to stories under silver trees. They heard of a man who chose love over power, and a girl who rewrote her fate. Above them, carved into a stone wall, were 5 simple words: "We were never just gifts." And under it, 2 names written side by side: